each day is commemorated. This counting down produces anticipation for the celebration of this Aliyah festival called weeks. Shavuot is the Hebrew word sevens. And there's another name for the festival, Pentecost, which in Greek means 50 days. So if you count down 7 weeks, that's 49 plus 1 is 50. So are you with me? Harvest, Pentecost, Shavuot, all of these things, the Feast of Weeks, are what we're celebrating today. And because it was an agricultural festival, this countdown is also called counting the Omer. Omer is the Hebrew word for sheaf. So there is a sheaf of wheat or a sheaf of barley, whatever grain it is, at the point where you can actually cut that sheaf. That's about when we're going to be celebrating. In fact, there are 7 species of what's being harvested in the land of Israel at this time. And they are wheat and barley, but also pomegranates, grapes, olives, dates, and figs. And so as we gather in the harvest, we're supposed to present the tithe, 10% of the produce of the land. And as we come up to Jerusalem, we're to come in a certain way. And in fact, in Deuteronomy 26, we actually get the liturgy of what Israel is supposed to say and do as they come up at the end of this countdown. It says, "When you have entered the land the Lord your God is giving you as an inheritance, and have taken possession of it and settled in it, take some of the first fruits of all that you produce from the soil of the land the Lord your God is giving you, and put them in a basket. Then go to the place the Lord your God will choose as a dwelling for his name. And say to the priest in office at the time, I declare today to the Lord your God that I have come to the land the Lord swore to our forefathers to give us. The priest shall take the basket from your hands and set it down in front of the altar of the Lord your God. Then you shall declare before the Lord your God, my father was a wandering Aramean, and he went down into Egypt with a few people and lived there and became a great nation, powerful and numerous. But the Egyptians mistreated us and made us suffer, putting us to hard labor. Then we cried out to the Lord, the God of our fathers, and the Lord heard our voice and saw our misery, toil, and oppression. So the Lord brought us out of Egypt with a mighty hand and an outstretched arm, with great terror and with miraculous signs and wonders. He brought us to this place and gave us this land, a land flowing with milk and honey. And now I bring the first fruits of the soil that you, O Lord, have given me. Place the basket before the Lord your God and bow down before him." Do you see the liturgy? Do you see the pageantry? Do you see the sense of celebration? One of the commands that we've read from the scroll is that we are to rejoice before the Lord. So there's a lot of celebration, there's a lot of singing connected with the celebration of Pentecost. But what we also see is one other very important aspect besides the agricultural aspect, besides the harvest aspect. If you count down 50 days from the Passover, when the children of Israel were actually delivered from the land of Egypt, according to the rabbis, now you can't exactly find this in the Torah, but according to the rabbis, the 50th day, Shavuot, weeks, Pentecost, that was the very same day that Moses came down from Mount Sinai with the 2 tablets of stone. And so we are actually in this festival celebrating the giving of the law. And you'll notice right up here, I have with me 2 loaves of bread. Now this is challah bread. It's egg bread that's twisted. It's absolutely delicious. We have it every Shabbat as part of a kiddush, but we also especially have these 2 loaves to remind us of the 2 tablets of stone that Moses brought down from the mountain on Shavuot. One other thing, if you have a few pieces during Shabbat, that means tomorrow morning's going to be French toast, because challah makes the best French toast. So as we have the focus in Shavuot, the Feast of Weeks on Torah, we have this bread and we eat it with honey. And it reminds us of the sweetness of the law that was given to us at Mount Sinai. And also today in Jewish homes and celebrations of Shavuot, we're going to have dairy products, which of course remind us that the land that God brought us into was the land of milk and honey. And my favorite dairy product that we enjoy at Shavuot is cheesecake. It's a wonderful confection. There's all kinds of cheesecakes. I love Eli's cheesecake. Any kind of cheesecake. I'll have it with cherries on top, with blueberries on top, but it's so good. And of course, there are lots of other dairy foods that we eat at this time as well, all to remind us of the sweetness of the law that was given in the land of milk and honey when we entered it.